Hey everyone, my name's Mitch, and in this video I want to break down the latest music video I shot. The song is called Interstate 5 and the artist is Micah. I'm just going to go scene by scene and kind of give you a rundown on how it was shot and edited. Let's get right into it. So for this first bit here, all this is kind of some assets that I've accumulated over the past couple years of editing videos. All the crazy stuff you're seeing in the background, like the glitches and whatnot, that comes from Ezra Cohen. The text is from a pack by Jamie Windsor called the JW Retro Asset Pack, I believe. And the monitor here is from Storyblocks. It's like an old TV monitor. I just masked out what was on the screen, so I just got the border of it. And then all the sound effects you're hearing are all from Epidemic Sound. So for this first scene, if you watch the last music video, Sideways, at the very end of the video, we wanted a fun way to end the video that we could lead into the next video, this one. We decided that Micah was gonna get abducted by aliens at the end. So in this one, we start out right away. We're seeing the aliens. These are two of Micah's friends playing the aliens. We just did alien masks and we had them wear all black. It was just kind of the easiest way to do it. And this whole first scene was filmed in an escape room here in San Diego. The escape room was called The Exit Game, and they were nice enough to let us film in their escape rooms, which was super cool because it was exactly the kind of set we needed. So we just kind of show Micah waking up here. All this is lit on two lights. One of the lights being this little Godox panel here. This actually is super handy. Has a little arm that swivels out, and even another one within that. You can mount it on anything really. It's super light. Has a bunch of colors in it, has a bunch of effects. I'm a big fan of that one there. The other light that was used is the light that's actually lighting me right now. It's the Yongnuo, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, YN360 I believe. And it's like a light wand, also RGB. So get a bunch of different colors with it. Also super handy, lightweight, and actually pretty affordable. So yeah, this whole scene is lit by those two lights. We went with green and blue, just trying to give like alien vibes. And for this scene, I wanted the aliens to be like just as scared as Micah is as scared of them. Just because like they've never seen a human before, I guess is kind of the idea here. Yeah, I wanted them both to be afraid of each other. And this scene here, this was in the escape room. They had this perfect like backdrop with this alien vials in the back, and it really like I said, this set was pretty perfect for this. Also have like the X-rays of aliens, board with light switches, all these switches on it, and then these are just two Nerf guns I picked up that looked kind of alien. I thought they worked for what we were going for. I mean, it's kind of like a cheesy idea, anyways, but yeah, so I think it works. And then here, Micah scans the room, sees a stack of CDs, realizes they're into music, sees this tinfoil wrap guitar and these records. These are some records that I borrowed from my dad. He has a huge collection. I figured they'd like Devo. They kind of look alien-esque, you know, with the funny hats on. And let me show you the guitar. All right, so even though it's been like a month since filming, I still have the guitar wrapped in tinfoil. There's no really reason for me to unwrap it. I don't play guitar. It's old. I just have it sitting around. But yeah, if you want to see me wrap that, I did it on TikTok. You can find that video on my TikTok. And then moving on, Micah says, "Just give me one chance. Let me play you something." And then we get right into it, playing the guitar. Aliens are kind of digging it, you know. So they say, "You know what? Come with us." And that transitions us into the alien spaceship, which is really just my car. I threw tinfoil on the roof. I used a lot of tinfoil for this video. I wanted it to look metallic-y, alien-esque. Also kind of funny though, because, you know, it's just a silly idea. The aliens are lit by the wand that I'm using right now. Just had it on red, and I gaff taped it up above them. Micah is lit by the panel here. It's on the floor between his legs, kind of lighting up. I wanted some contrast, so I went with red and white, and then in post, I kind of cooled down the whites, kind of give it that cold color temperature. And then we see the monitor again, and it is showing the first planet that we're going to be going to. These little planets, I just made them in Photoshop. Super simple. I just threw a circle and just drew around, messed around. I looked up some examples online of like grass planet or tree planet, and kind of just had fun with it, blurred a lot of it, messed around with it for a while. Ended up throwing that globe effect that you see on it, kind of gives it the idea that it's spinning even though it's really not. That's from Ezra Cohen, as well as the stars in the background that kind of just worked perfectly for this. And yeah, so we go to our first planet here. And I named it Arbolus. In Spanish, arbol is tree, so I was kind of like, I don't know, I didn't know what to name it, so I was kind of just messing around with names like that. And then we see Micah on the tree planet here. So this was all shot by a park pretty close to where I live. I was just like on a walk one day, and I stumbled across this park, and then there's a little trail off to the side that had all these crazy tree coverings. You can go inside and you're completely surrounded by trees. So it kind of worked perfectly for this video. I found it a couple months before shooting this, and I took some pictures there, and I knew that we were going to come back for it. This shot here, I actually really like this shot. It's short, so you may not be able to tell what's happening, but if you look, the camera's moving like with Micah. I basically made a homemade Snorri cam. Snorri cam are one of those cameras that you've seen that you probably don't know. It's a vest that the camera mounted looking directly at you, kind of giving a reverse POV shot. But in a lot of movies it's used either to make people look drunk or create a level of discomfort. But I just was kind of experimenting with Micah, and I just liked the way it looked. It kind of looked like he was exploring this place for the first time. So it worked out. And how I did it was I just took my tripod. It's just like a lightweight like photography tripod. You can't use something too heavy. And I have the camera, I have it two of the legs around his waist, and then the other is like tucked into like his belt. And the camera's just pointed at him. And I use a belt, like a legitimate belt that you like for your pants, and wrap it around higher up on the tripod and around his kind of torso area. But you can't go too high because you don't want to get it in the shot. And then as he walked towards me, I was kind of walking backwards, holding my hands out, making sure my camera didn't fall. But for quick shots like this, it works. It wouldn't work in a long take or anything, but for something short like this, it worked. And I think the effect looks cool. Again, we go back to the tree tunnels, and then this next shot, this was the original thing I found at this park, was this tree, and I just really liked the way this tree looked. I took a picture of it and knew I had to come back for something. And yeah, so it's a really cool tree, and I thought it'd be a cool idea to have Micah kind of bouncing around within one static shot. So I had him bounce around to different parts of the tree and then onto the ground in front of it. And then this is going to be the last shot we get on this planet before traveling to the next one. So yeah, the idea is between every planet, he's back in the spaceship, and then we see the monitor, kind of giving the idea that they're traveling to the next place, and shows you on the monitor where they're going. And I forgot to mention, on these shots in the car, I had the camera mounted to the inside of the windshield using this suction cup like little mount thing that I have. The brand is Delkin, Delkin. I don't know the exact model number, but if you look it up, you can find it. Thing is, I don't trust this thing that much. Use at your own risk for sure. But I've mounted on the outside of a car on Micah's last video, and that was really sketchy because he was actually driving. This, we were just completely parked, and it was on the inside of the car, so I felt a lot safer with this, but definitely use at your own risk. And then we're off to the next planet. I was struggling to come up with a water planet name, so I came up with Aquo. I don't know, sounds alright. And the inspiration for this whole planet was definitely like Interstellar, when they're on the water planet, just kind of vast amounts of water as far as you can see. So in this, we just went to the beach, had him stand in the water. I was in the water with him, like up to my knees, and just kind of shot towards the water. The beach is behind me, you can't see it. And then I had it color, I had the color temperature pretty cool on this to kind of give it the idea that it's a cold, wet world. And I should have mentioned earlier, but this entire video was shot on my Lumix GH5S with the Sigma 18-35. I do have the Metabone speed booster on there, so it does, I think it makes the lens, turns it into like a 25 to 50 millimeter. Don't quote me on that, I think that's right, but somewhere in there. Except, it was all shot on the 18-35 except for 2 shots, and this is one of them. I wanted a compressed shot, kind of make Micah look like he's completely lost in this like water world, kind of exploring it, just surrounded by water. And so I used this vintage lens that I have, which is a Vivitar 200 millimeter. But I'm pretty sure with the adapter on my camera, it turns it into something closer to 400 because it's pretty long. And so I was way up on the beach shooting this. But I like the way it turned out. Kind of makes him look like he's really just trapped in this water world. Let me go back to the handheld close-up shot. And then this shot is really Interstellar inspired when you see like Matthew McConaughey walking through the water on that planet. Same kind of thing, just close up. And then we even brought the guitar in the water, switch it up. And then we're back into the spaceship, aka my car, before we head to the next planet. And this planet is without a doubt my favorite. This shoot was really cool. We shot this in the Glamis sand dunes. It's about 2.5 hours from San Diego. There were 5 of us squeezed into a Corolla, so it wasn't the comfiest of traveling situations, but it was definitely worth it because these shots are pretty cool and some of my favorite things I've ever shot. Again, I couldn't think of a good name for a hot desert planet, and like in Spanish, calor is hot, so I was thinking, let's stick with this Latin vibe that I'm going with. And so Calamir is what I came up with. And this shot right here, this is one of my favorite shots in the video for sure. I was kind of inspired by like Wes Anderson, kind of like straight on, very symmetrical. He kind of looks both ways, kind of taking in this new world for the first time. And this place is awesome because there's so little done to the shot that it really just, the sand dunes like speak for themselves. You can see like a little bit of like vignetting on the left and right of the frame, and that's because I was using an ND filter because it was so bright out there, and I did want some depth of field, so I was using that, and it was my first time using it, and I turned it all the way up here, so you do get a little bit of vignetting, but it is what it is. It's fine. And for this shot, this is a shot I just had in mind when I was there. I took an asset from Storyblocks that was just meteors falling on a transparent background. I threw that on here, kind of angled it, and masked out where I wanted it. Masked out the horizon to look like the meteors were falling into the ground. And then I just kind of messed with the colors, making them like an orangey red, kind of make it look like they're on fire. And I think it came out pretty cool. Simple walking shot, handheld. Another performance shot with the guitar. On these performance shots, we did have a white bounce on him to kind of light him, and I think it looks pretty good. This is another one of my favorite shots in the whole video. This was the only other shot on this this 200 or 400 on my camera millimeter lens. I wanted again another very compressed image, kind of make it look like he's lost in this desert world. But just compositionally wise, I thought this turned out pretty cool, and it was pretty lucky because we were kind of just, Micah was out there and I was just telling him to walk around, and the way the dunes are set up in this shot I think look pretty cool. And then this I think is another one of my favorite shots. It's just so vast, so much sand. It definitely gives Dune vibes, the movie. Another performance shot, a wider shot We get back in tighter using that white bounce again. And then that's it for that planet before heading to the next one. And for these car shots, I had them do a couple different takes of it. And in the editing process, I started them off more mellow, using the more mellower takes at the beginning, and then kind of getting the more more hype, excited, high energy takes towards the end to kind of feel like the Micah and the aliens are kind of building this friendship, kind of building this energy together, and just kind of things are going up, you know? So that's why we see this one here is the most high energy of them all so far. And this last one, this was kind of improvised. When we got to the escape room, the guy was nice enough to like let us use like a couple other rooms as well. And this other room was like an alien planet looking room. It was purple and green, black lit, and it was just really cool. And we just kind of got a few performance shots in there. And because I wasn't sure how I wanted to end this video. Originally, I thought I was going to have the aliens bring Micah back to Earth. We didn't end up going that route. But I like the way it turned out with this ending instead. And you'll see why it's named Planet X in a while, is because there's a little thing at the end. So we took a couple shots of this, a couple takes, but I kind of liked the one single take for this entire planet because it's only like 13 seconds, this whole take. So it would have been a lot of cuts, I feel like, in a short amount of time. So I just had this one. Again, I had this light, used it a lot. I have like it's either a lightning effect on there or it's like a photography paparazzi kind of effect, camera flashes kind of thing. And that's where you get in those flashes of light that we see like there. And it kind of just adds to the unknownness of this planet. It was kind of hard to light and grade because it was blacklit, but I do like the fact that we use this light to kind of illuminate him every few frames. But yeah, it was a little tricky to grade this, but I think it turned out all right for what we had and for it kind of being improvised. So we just do the one take there, and then that pretty much ends the song there. The camera's gonna whip away. This is just an effect I have that kind of gives the idea that the camera's whipping, but it worked in this case because I kind of whipped the camera anyways when I was shooting, so I kind of sold it more with that effect. And we go back to this screen, Planet X, we see him backspace, and type M ! Because that's Micah's thing. I had that transition into my logo with directed and edited by me. All this text is again JW Retro Asset Pack. And then for my logo, I did kind of do an RGB split on there to kind of match the text. And then after that, it transitions into some credits for the guys that played the aliens and our photographer that was on set with us. And yeah, that kind of wraps up the entire video, front to back. I wanted to kind of just do a quick breakdown on how stuff was shot, what was kind of the thought process as we went along, and how I edited it. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I will gladly let you know the answer to them if I can. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.